James Altucher claims a $3 stock is about to be listed and will gain 1,000% as a result. I reveal the stock here for free, so you don't have to pay Altucher $10,000 for the pick. Just realize no paid or proprietary information is given away here. This is guesswork based on clues from James's publicly available sales presentation. Let's shift back to the new teaser now and figure out the stock. This is a video presentation, so I'm just going to summarize the main points and clues. Here are the main clues from the presentation. $3 stock that James expects to get listed on major exchanges. The stock is in the quantum computing sector. It's valued at under $1 billion. Definitive company quantum security leader and based outside US. Also, he says recently named one of the world's leading quantum physicists as their chief quantum officer, and they work with the guys who make Apple's iPhone. According to the clues, the stock is very likely BTQ technology. James released this presentation last week when the stock was $3, and it's since gone over $5. BTQ Technologies is a global quantum technology company focused on developing solutions for post-quantum cryptography and quantum secure infrastructure. Overall, BTQ is positioning itself as a leader in the next generation of cybersecurity and blockchain innovation, bridging the gap between today's digital systems and the coming quantum era. Here's the top things to know about this stock, and after I'll tell you if I'd buy. First, let's look at the quantum opportunity. Quantum computers will eventually break current encryption standards, creating an urgent need for new security solutions across all digital systems. The post-quantum cryptography market is projected to reach $29.95 billion by 2034, driven by government and enterprise adoption of quantum-safe systems. BTQ Technologies is strategically positioned as an early entrant in this critical transition, potentially capturing significant market share as adoption accelerates. BTQ Technologies has built a robust product ecosystem. On the software side, BTQ offers Keylong, a developer toolkit for building quantum-safe applications, PQScale, an enterprise-grade solution designed to scale quantum security, and Kenting, a zero-knowledge proof system that enhances blockchain privacy. In hardware, BTQ has developed Byte, a quantum-resistant computation platform, and QRing, a quantum random number generator that delivers enhanced security. The company is also advancing protocol development with Preon, an advanced ZK-SNARK implementation, and QPOW, a quantum-resistant proof-of-work consensus mechanism, solutions for blockchain, telecommunications, and critical infrastructure. Here's BTQ's competitive advantages. BTQ has developed deep expertise in lattice-based post-quantum signatures, positioning it at the cutting edge of this critical security technology. Collaborations with the Stellar Foundation, NIST, and other leading organizations provide credibility and accelerate adoption. Early entry in a field that values intellectual property and pioneering solutions, creating significant barriers to entry for competitors. Multi-hub structure across Vancouver, Taiwan, and Sydney enables technical innovation and regulatory agility in diverse markets. Despite minimal current revenue, investors are pricing in substantial future growth potential. Early-stage commercialization with significant room for growth as products reach market. Current cash position provides approximately 13 months of runway at the current burn rate. BTQ's valuation reflects investor confidence in its future potential rather than current financial performance, with significant growth priced into the stock. From Q1 2024 to Q1 2025, BTQ's stock price surged from around 24 cents Canadian to approximately $7 Canadian, reflecting the growing investor enthusiasm for quantum and AI-related technologies. BTQ has significantly outperformed broader markets with its extraordinary 1,083% one-year return, positioning it as a standout performer in the tech sector. High volatility reflects the speculative nature of this investment, with performance heavily influenced by news events and market narratives around quantum computing adoption. Next, let's look at the strategic global positioning of BTQ. In Taiwan, there's a strategic talent hub embedded within the global semiconductor ecosystem, providing access to specialized engineering expertise and manufacturing capabilities. Corporate headquarters ends in Vancouver with direct access to Canada's Quantum Valley research community and favorable innovation ecosystem. They have research centers in Sydney, tapping into Australia's emerging quantum technology landscape and Asia-Pacific business opportunities. There are a lot of risks associated with this stock, though. With no profitability and minimal current revenue, 916,000 Canadian dollars TTM, BTQ represents a high-risk investment with significant cash burn. The 13-month runway requires either revenue acceleration or additional fundraising. The timeline for quantum computing threats remains uncertain, potentially delaying widespread adoption of post-quantum cryptography solutions, despite the clear long-term need. BTQ faces significant challenges in commercializing academic research into scalable business models. The current $750 million plus valuation leaves little room for execution errors or market adoption delays. Investing in BTQ represents a strategic bet on the inevitable transformation of cybersecurity in response to quantum computing advancements. As quantum computers continue to develop, Every digital security system will require upgrading to quantum-resistant protocols. If successful in its mission, BTQ could become an essential layer of secure digital infrastructure, powering everything from financial transactions to critical communications. For risk-tolerant investors with a long-term horizon, BTQ offers potentially asymmetric upside if it can capture even a small portion of the projected $29.95 billion market. So what do I think about this stock? Well, quantum computing reminds me a lot of artificial intelligence. AI was something that was always talked about, almost like a sci-fi promise waiting to happen. And every once in a while, you'd see an advancement in AI that would make you say, wow. For example, Watson competing on Jeopardy or an AI beating the world's best chess champions were milestones that captured the public's imagination. But for years, most people and investors weren't directly impacted by AI in their daily lives. But AI didn't really take off for investors until ChatGPT. That was the breakthrough that put AI in the hands of regular people, allowing them to see firsthand what AI could do. Suddenly, everyone could play with ChatGPT and realize how AI could improve their lives, work, and creativity. This moment shifted the conversation from AI is cool to AI is investable, and that's when the money started pouring in. Quantum computing, in my view, is in an even earlier stage than AI was just a few years ago. It's so early that it's honestly tough to even define what early means in this context. When Watson went on Jeopardy in 2011, it was still over a decade before ChatGPT would arrive. Quantum computing hasn't even had its Jeopardy moment yet in the public eye. And it's not just about public awareness. A major quantum computing stock sell-off happened after Mark Zuckerberg and Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang both suggested these computers are likely 15 to 30 years away from mainstream use. That's a long timeline, and it's sobering for anyone expecting quick returns. Huang later walked those comments back a bit, but the reality is, quantum computing is not going to have its ChatGPT moment for a while. The technology, the hardware, the algorithms, they're all still in the research phase. About 7 months ago, BTQ was trading at just 20 cents. Since then, it's absolutely exploded, skyrocketing over 1,000% and going from a $50 million company to one with a valuation near $1 billion. That kind of run-up is rare, and usually only happens when there's a mix of real excitement, future potential, and a lot of hype. But here's my hesitation. It's hard for me to believe this company could have delivered so much in such a short time to truly justify being worth nearly $1 billion. If you look at the financials, most quantum tech companies are still pre-revenue or have only modest contracts, and that includes BTQ. The stock is being valued more on potential than on current results. And that's always risky territory for investors. Personally, I would wait for the inevitable stock dip before jumping in. In the world of early stage tech, especially with a story stock like this, prices can drop 50%, 70%, even 90% almost overnight if sentiment turns or if there's a broader market correction. Buying at an all-time high just doesn't seem smart to me, no matter how exciting the story is. And I'll be honest, I've been wrong before when it comes to quantum computing stocks. Last fall, I recommended not buying IonQ, and the stock quickly surged over 400%. Did IonQ do something groundbreaking between then and now to justify that surge? Honestly, not really. It was just that quantum stocks got hot, and sometimes when the hype cycle starts, logic takes a back seat. The bottom line is this: quantum computing has mind-blowing potential, and there's a real chance that some of today's early leaders could be tomorrow's tech giants. But there's also an enormous amount of risk, uncertainty, and volatility. We don't know when the breakthrough moment will come, and most investors piling in today are doing it based on hope and vision, not on solid fundamentals. So, what about you? Let me know in the comments what you think about quantum and BTQ. Are you all in on the future, or are you waiting on the sidelines like me? I'm genuinely interested to hear where you stand on the risk versus reward of this next generation tech. And don't forget to click the link in the description to check out AlphaPick. Right now they're running their biggest sale of all time, and you can get $100 off this amazing service. Remember, I've reviewed over 100 stock picking services, and this is the only one that consistently beats the market, nearly tripling the returns of the S&P since inception. So again, make sure to click the link in the description and get $100 off this incredible deal.